Hello, teammates. I'm here to talk about our quiz from last week and help you to figure out what some of the most common errors were so that you won't make those mistakes the next time around. So the most common mistakes were not following directions, right? So if I told you to use a certain introductory clause or a sentence starter, so Mars is red because, if you didn't do that, then you were not following directions and you didn't get credit for the question, even if your answer was right. Another thing that we didn't always do, right? So here you needed to say according to the text, blah, blah, blah. You needed three, right? Three pieces of evidence, three ways. Sometimes we didn't read the question and we didn't really answer it entirely. So for instance, here, according to the text, which planet is Saturn most similar to? Many of us forgot to support our answer with a piece of evidence. Got to make sure we're reading those questions, right? We read the question first, then we read the text. Read the question to know what we have to do, then read the text. So I wanted to go over the third most common mistake. So we said not following the directions, doing everything that the question is asking us to do. The third problem was sometimes we didn't read very carefully. So why is Mars red? I'm going to read passage 1 and I'm going to look for an answer to why Mars is red. The red planet, as Mars is often called, is the fourth planet from the sun. Earth is the third. In a lot of ways, Mars looks a lot like our home. Though instead of blue oceans and green land, Mars is home to an ever-present red tint. Huh, I see the word red. And many of us stopped here. We said Mars is red because it is present to a red tint. Now here's the problem. Teammates, tint means color. So Mars is red because it has a red tint, right? That's basically saying it's red because it's red. Now you might be thinking, Mr. Duell, I don't know what tint means. That's okay. Sometimes when you read, you don't always know what the word means. But if you had kept reading, you would have read this. This, being the red tint, is due to a mineral called iron oxide. So even if you didn't know what the word tint meant, you would have read that Mars has this red tint, and the red tint is because of a mineral called iron oxide. From that, you could have figured out that, right, it has this red something because of the mineral. So I can infer, right, or I can figure out using all of these clues that Mars is actually red because of a mineral called iron oxide. This is the kind of work that I'm going to expect you to do going forward, making sure that we're reading the questions carefully, that we're doing everything the question is asking, and that we're reading very carefully. All right, time to get back to our lesson.